Let's imagine a flock that's a mile wide and 200 miles long. And the front birds are coming down to glean from the field. And imagining being ahead of this crashing wave of biology working its way up the center of the continent.
And the eruption of wings, it was so loud that these men with guns were terrified.
There were tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of passenger pigeons.
And we lost it. From billions to none in a matter of a few decades.
It was us. We're the ones who made that happen.
Incomprehensible.
That's something we think can't happen.
We are killing about 100 million sharks per year. That means about 11,000 every hour. It's absolutely unsustainable.
It can happen to the bluefin tuna. It can happen to the polar bear. It can happen to the wolf.
The extinction of passenger pigeon species was pretty well marked. It was September 1st, 1914. This abundant bird ceased to exist.
Well, it's my job to bring the passenger pigeon back to life.
If extinction isn't forever, a lot changes.
I live every day thinking about how could this go wrong.
In today's world, we could never recreate the natural phenomenon that was the passenger pigeon.
Let's remember what we once had and use that as a way to think about today and to think about tomorrow.
Meet naturalist and author Joel Greenberg, a man in his element.
I've been birding since I was 12, over 40 years ago. And in my own lifetime, there's areas I've gone that simply have changed, that no longer support the birds that I once knew there. The passenger pigeon touches on so many elements of things that I care deeply about. I care about history. I care about the fact that this continent has changed. That probably triggered trying to recreate what this region was like and how it changed in the 300 years since Europeans first arrived.
The passenger pigeon, so named because it was a bird of passage, always looking for food, and once a year for a place to nest. Its Latin name, Ectopistes migratorius, or wandering migrant, says it all. It filled the skies over the United States and Canada, from the Atlantic coast to the Great Plains. The earliest archaeological evidence of the birds dates from about 12,000 BCE. For millennia, the people of North America incorporated the pigeons in their social and religious life. Because it was a popular food source, the Seneca people called the bird Big Bread. In 1534, as he explored the Atlantic coast of Canada, Jacques Cartier penned the first written account of the passenger pigeon. He described an infinite number flying over Prince Edward Island. In 1625, a Dutch writer on Manhattan Island noted that passenger pigeon flocks shut out the sunshine. These early Manhattanites shot at the birds from their front porches. Around the 1750s, some observant English colonists voiced concern that passenger pigeon flocks were smaller than in past years, the first expressions that the species was not immune from human actions. In 1857, in response to a proposed bill seeking protection for the passenger pigeon, a select committee of the Ohio State Senate filed a report stating, "The passenger pigeon needs no protection, wonderfully prolific. It is here today and elsewhere tomorrow, and no ordinary destruction can lessen them." In 1900, after years of relentless hunting, the best way that most people could now see the bird was by looking in boxes of Arm & Hammer baking soda. The vanishing pigeon was included in a bird collector card series. 12 years later, a national search to find even a single bird in the wild ended in failure.